Alright, so we are going to go through the union's update and how everything works because I think it's really important. And I'm going to start getting back into these quasi videos because it could be beneficial for y'all. So, did a lot of UI work, a lot of back-end work, a lot of methodology work, and my voice is kind of going out, so it's been recovering, but you're gonna have to bear with me if my voice sounds a little weak and coarse. So, you start out your player. It's gonna be a second video regarding the Department of Defense, but you want to make a union. Easy, simple. This is what you need. It's the PC you need, sector type, and headquarters. Now the headquarters kind of matters because you get a bonus, as it says right here. But, right, you made your union. This is how the mechanics work. This is the founding, that's what it costs. You're gonna split sectors, and you're actually gonna take the entire sector. I wish I didn't expand so much so I could get you an example. Hopefully one of these guys got me. But you're gonna just split sectors as you would normally do, as if you were a corporation. Now I hope you guys have played corporations, and the corporations have been around long enough to dang it, I don't think I have an example for y'all. Hopefully there's like one. No example. Kind of sucks. But it's really simple. It's just splitting a sector. And actually, I could get you an example on one of these pages here, but we're gonna go here. You're gonna go to the regular sectors pages on the states. And you're gonna split sectors via this. Now, instead of how corporations work, let's see if there's any good examples here where they split the actual sector. We're still early on to the iter, so there's not much competition between the various corporations. But nevertheless, we push forward. You split sectors, and instead of it being proportional, so you can see here, if there was another corporation splitting either of these, they would have their own row. So instead of fighting over the union space for a corporation with other unions, you're going to be taking this total sum of it. And so when you're competing with other unions, you'll have this option here. And the terminology will be different. It doesn't really matter. It's going to have the campaign cost and the organizing cost. And these other things are sort of informational. And I'll talk about that in a minute. So let's go to our union. So let's say we've made our union. Okay, kind of understand how this works, right? Striking is a little bit different, and the UI is kind of wonky on that. I'm not too good on UI, but it will be improved. But right now, you're going to have to take what you can get. So, unions historically advocate for the worker, and so you can use these strikes as leverage against the corporation to raise wages. And raising wages will actually improve the union's approval. See how my approval is only 53%? We'll get to that. But these people either have less dues, less strain on their workers for being part of the union, or they have high value or high wages in the sectors they control for their union. So let's go to the union. This kind of breaks down how everything works. If you're too lazy at reading, I understand. That's why I'm making this video. Let's go to our union. Okay. So, see this union? You can invest your political capital. And political capital is a currency that you get every hour on the hour. You can do various actions. You can raise your stats to compete in elections, and you can invest in your donor bases to acquire more money. So the value proposition here is you actually get equity in the company. So right now my lobbying equity is around 70%. I share this lobbying equity with the other members of my union, which is why this button is important, because if you want to actually maintain control of your union, you have to have votes, the majority votes. And it's only a simple majority as well. So 50%, 50.01% will get you out of office. So it's very important for you to maintain good relations with the people, constituents of your union, so you can maintain power. So there's two numbers here. Already covered the political capital. The organizing power. This is what gives the union the ability to do actions. This is their currency for their organization. And union influence, already covered that. That goes with this in terms of who gets voted in. Compensation package. Unions, like corporations, will be able to get paid. They'll get a sort of a salary. See, someone wants to give me 55 votes. Who's that? Huh. Someone wants to give me 4% based on the union. So if the union does well, you can vote for a good percentage for the package. If it does bad, you don't. That's simple. Now, let's go. So we covered the members. Finances. Do we get a tooltip? Yes, we do. This is our union approval. Unions by default start at 100%. Now, this can go up or down based on your decisions. So how the system works, it's the workers expect the conditions and the wages of the average of the country that you're in. Each country is going to be different, and that's fine. So my union is the average wage is 95%. And if you don't understand what that means, that's okay. It's a scale in which how much the corporations choose to pay their employees, which can pad their bottom line. So the corporations are incentivized to have the lowest amount of wages for the maximum amount of profit before the cost benefit analysis goes down. We're going to find a corporation here that's gutting their wages for their workers. See the corporation stock value? Not good for the workers. Good for the company. Okay. So you see, where are the wages at? The wages are at 80% here. It gives him a 20% margin that he's saving. Labor quality is another stat, but I'm not going to cover that this video. That'll be another video regarding how the state effects work. But compare these margins, and this is HQ region, the HQ, so that gives a bonus as well. But compare it to, let's say, Ohio, where he only gets 10%. So the margins are a bit different. So that's why that matters. What page are we at? Oh, it's because I was looking for that. That's true. True. So that's why mine is at 95%. That's the average wage of all of the workplaces I have unionized. And so this does the math for you, so you don't have to read it. And here's the dues penalties. So how do unions make their money? Well, they get union dues from their members, which is controlled by the union president. The strike wages, when workers go on strike, when you're fighting for those higher wages, this will kick into effect, and it will drain your treasury. So if you do not have funds in your treasury to pay your union members to strike, you will not be able to do unions. The lobbying distributions actually just added this federal law. So federally, they can choose whether or not Congress and the president can choose whether or not to allow the law to restrict unions from having the ability to give contributions to their political allies, let's say. So let's go to me. We're gonna open this up. So because of that, I own 70%, basically 70% of the union. and the influence within the union, I get a certain payout, which is 10% of the union's annual income. And so that's going to pad my CF. So I'm going to be making a lot of money. This is why I'm making this video, because unions are going to be important in two regards, either countering them or playing into them. This is a mechanic that we're going to have to do. Now, the lobbying distributions, this is completely up to the union president. It's affected by laws, and it will it does the math for you. This is all back-end formula work that I've already done for you guys, making this as easy and streamlined as possible for the average user. These are all the unions that these are all the workplaces I have unionized. UI could use a little work. It's okay for now. I don't mind it terribly. The density, this is like one thing that's throwing me off. This is union density. So how much of the sector that we'll go here, right? How much of the sector that I actually have unionized? So a very good thing to point out here, based on the union's approval, that's the cap. So it's going to slowly progress to the unionized percentage of 53%. So over time, this is going to get to 53%, and that's my ceiling. If I wanted to go higher, I can lower my dues. I could try to get more wages raised. There's some meta strats I'm not going to expand upon, but that's going to be something, that's a good little thing that you guys can figure out. So that's what density means. It's union member density, basically. So see, I kind of hit my cap here in New Jersey, kind of hit my cap here in Georgia. So you wanna get to your fullest potential, right? So if I wanted to strike, this will just take me to the sector page.